What up, random rockers? Jungle Book. Many adaptations of it. This version specifically relies a little bit on, pretty well, it's a live action with some CGI sort of stuff incorporated throughout the majority of it, but I'm here to tell you, you will not be able to tell that for sure. And it is really damn good of an adaptation, and the thing is that will probably hold this back is the fact that there's been so many different adaptations of this that it'll just, that to the point of being considered stale, that it's gonna maybe go under the radar. But from what I've been hearing from word of mouth, it is actually doing great at the box office. I'm not sure if it did beat out The Boss, but I hope it does. I'm hearing it's not that great. Oh, by the way, new look. If it had a top hat, you'd notice a lot better. Line of Lincoln. But yeah. So just throw that side note in there. Back to the review. Back to the movie, guys. Again, solid. Great movie. Jon Favreau directs another great one. Guy who gave us the Swingers and the first two Iron Man movies, though the first one, of course, better than the second one. And sure, he's had a few slumps here and there. I think the recent film that he had done that was kind of going back to the Swingers, I would like to see that, even though I think all that movie will do is make me hungry. Chef, I believe, is the name of it. I'm looking for... one of these days I'll finally get to see that movie. But yeah, if you haven't, like me, if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Swingers levels of greatness in terms of like that sort of independent, deep cut kind of stuff from Favreau. Other than that, the thing about this movie specifically is the new young kid who plays Mogi, Neil Sethi, actually got an Indian kid who played the character, and he looks pretty damn close to them, and for being his first role, he's done pretty well. Apparently, some people say that you could kind of tell at moments where he's just going through green screen, which is what he did most of the time, and sometimes you could tell, because that's what really kind of went on. But I barely even noticed anything, because everything else, the CGI incorporated stuff that doesn't even look all that CGI'd. I mean, you know it is, but you could barely tell. It has far more of a lifelike feel to it. This scene, the setting, and all the animals themselves within the jungle, and how they handled the voiceovers and the casting was perfect. Bill Murray, perfect fucking Baloo. Scarlett Johansson is Ka? Ka wasn't really a problem. In fact, if not for Ka, if they wouldn't have met Baloo. So I don't understand why some people think that it was unnecessary. Hell, even in the animated version, which from the moment you hear the moment this opens, it kind of goes into like the old school 2D animated opening instead of the usual 3D CGI incorporated opening of the Walt Disney logo, and then it goes into the into the opening of the Jungle Book, into the live action sort of style CGI with the exact music from that starts the credits off in the original cartoon. That's how you know that Favreau and company give a damn about the source material, and you know that the voiceover cast is having fun, especially Bill Murray, Baloo, even when it comes to the bare necessities of life. For the little bit that they do it, without going too much with it like the cartoons do, which the cartoons, of course, they do that. They should. As it should have, and it's classic, man. And they were able to handle it so well, and Baloo made it, and Bill Murray made Baloo his own. It's still Baloo, but with the Bill Murrayisms, the good Bill Murrayisms, because it's just good to finally see Bill Murray be the Bill freaking Murray we've missed so freaking much. That just makes me slightly more depressed for Ghostbusters. We don't see it, but it's mostly for Chris Hemsworth, and who's supposed to play the one nerdy chick or whatever, the blonde one or whatever. They're about the only ones I'm interested in seeing in that movie. For an extra side note, but damn. Now, Scarlett Johansson as Ka. It was nice. It was alright. Ben Kingsley as Bagheera was great. And Shere Khan. Oh. Best. I much push for her, but even I gotta respect some good jump scares that you just don't see coming and are done perfectly well. And that was, for Shere Khan, it was perfect. And it is how. And his. Idris Elba. Yes. Hells yes. And some people were worried about this for King Louis, but Christopher Walken. Ooh, I want to be like you. It's like, though he does it with far more enthusiasm, and it somehow works. It somehow works, except he's kind of like Planet of the Apes. Like, I don't remember orangutans being that fucking massive, though. That was kind of like, that's kind of the part that took me back a little bit. It's like, no, orangutans are never that. I guess he was orangutan or something. Aren't that massive. If it was a gorilla, I believe it. But a freaking orangutan, that massive? No wonder you understand now why he's called King Louis. But even King Louis in the cartoons was never that level of massive. My word. But I have no issue with that. They had to make him have a king level presence, and making him that massive, I guess, worked. And having him that massive and having Christopher Walken, it's like, and it's typical Christopher Walken stuff, but you feel like he works for Louis. Especially, it's almost like they needed to do the I want to be like you just to sell it. And they did massively, so gloriously. It's like there's some Rise of Planet of the Apes, Dawn of Planet of the Apes moments in this for him specifically. Hell, this movie just feels like it should have been rated PG-13 and not PG. I feel like kids by that age restriction, I think that's when the younger kids should watch it, because there's just some things that are just. I mean, adults will enjoy this, and adolescents will probably enjoy this far more. I think this is just to have them go watch the cartoons first. Maybe the 194, but I'm not sure I recommend that one either. I don't barely remember that one. But this one, there's just some things that just would not sit well for that young of an audience, especially the jump scares with Shere Khan. I think they need to be 13 or something just to see it, but even so, I can't still not recommend this as a good, solid quality movie. But I wouldn't want to scare the kids away from wanting to watch it when they get older. So just make it like when they're 13 or something, where they're at a mature age to where it won't scare them and they can still appreciate the film, for what it is. If not, just stick with the classic '67 cartoon, and then use that as a nice little template to go off of that one. And for them to mature out of it, but still have a nostalgia factor, like some of us in many generations to come since '67, I guess, that have watched it. It's damn good. It rocks all the way. I mean, sure, there's some issues with the age, within an age gap, I guess, when it comes to watching this version as opposed to the classic 1967 animated version. But still, I mean, it's done perfectly. Favreau knocks another one out of the park. Bill Murray finally has a comeback. Unfortunately, he had to be in the form of Blue, and I agree with a much more prominent reviewer, Jeremy Johns. Let's get us a tailspin. Let's get us a tailspin. And hell, this is for Christopher Walken. The I want to be like you thing with King Louis. This is probably better than what I have always imagined seeing him do a video for quoting lines from Weezer's Blue album or something. And I might do something special with that when I get to it eventually. And yeah, that's another thing. I'm going to eventually do Weezer. I'm going to do Gore. I'm going to do Cauterize. I think I heard something about a band called Let Live that's kind of past my radar. I might get to them. I will definitely get to Thrice when that comes out too. And that's and that's about it. I'm still working on those. I want to try to do better than what I did the last Random Rock Countdown. So I'm not sure I'll do the guitar thing with Deftones because I know they're a little more complex than Weezer. But there are some things Weezer can do that's pretty complex that I was like just reading it off Tabager. I'm like, how in the fuck is the intro saying so this fucking complicated? It just gives me all the more respect for Weezer, old Weezer, man. And it's good to know that they made the comeback they needed. Yes, and honestly, oh yes, I've also been wanting to do this since February, the Cult Random Rock Countdown as well. Do something special for that too. I will eventually get to it sometime later in the year, but I want to get to Deftones and Weezer first. Weezer, then Deftones, then the Cauterize, then I got some other things going on earlier with like some wedding crap, so I may not be able to get to that. But other than that, that's about it, I think. Other than some movies, which, I mean, it's going to be summer's going to be good with movies, too. I mean, of course, Civil War was eventually going to get to that. I'm probably going to get to the Huntsman Winter's War, maybe. And I think there's something else that week. I don't remember. But, and I know the following week after, I mean, either way, I'm just pumped for Civil War. It's going to look great. I've already heard great things from people who've reviewed it because they've already been to special screenings. It's like, fuck you. So yeah. So that's about it, guys. So the Jungle Book. What did you guys think about it? Comment below. Rock that like button. Rock the like if you like it. And that's the movie or this review, whichever it may be. And that's it. And as always, guys, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking, and I'll see you guys next time. I love my new beard. It rocks. At least I think it rocks. Dude.